Hey guys, Caroline here with Drew from Misfit Athletics, and today we're going to talk to you about what we can do to fix your squat. Specifically, how to do that without using accessories like the lifting belt, lifting shoes, and knee sleeves. So a lot of people squat on a regular basis, relying on those accessories to kind of mask some underlying issues like hip mobility, ankle mobility, and poor bracing. So we're going to go over a couple different things and some ways that you can improve on those issues and hopefully ensure that you get the most out of the back squat work. So one of the first ways we're going to encourage you to fix your squat is by rooting your feet. So I'm going to have Drew go ahead and kick off his shoes so that you guys get a better look at what we're actually trying to do with the feet. He's going to set up for the back squat, and basically what we're trying to show here is that exaggerated arch in the foot. He's going to do this by grabbing the floor with his foot, curling his big toe under, and staying rooted through his heels. So that way, as he squats down into the full squat, he's got that hip torque, he's got the external rotation in his hips, and he can create that space going down for his hips to come through. So the next thing we're going to talk about is loading of the posterior chain. So I've got Drew with the barbell on his back, and I'm just going to have him show you guys the initiation of the squat. So his hips go back and down, torso has a slight pitch forward, and the weight is clearly distributed over the front of his heel. So that barbell stays centered the entire way. The goal here is to be able to use your glutes and hamstrings on the way down as well as on the way up. So the next thing we want you guys to focus on throughout the cycle is controlling the squat from the top to the bottom and vice versa. A lot of the times we see athletes get down to the bottom and kind of rely on that bounce in a crappy position to get themselves back up. And throughout the next 6 weeks, we're going to have you guys focus on staying tight the entire time and really just relying on that muscle strength and building that strength all the way through. So I'm going to have Drew go ahead and get down nice and controlled all the way. You can see that he is not relying on that bounce completely to get himself back up. And very smooth on the way to the top. So the last thing we're going to address to help fix your squat is the tracking of the hips. So I'm going to have Drew go ahead and get down to his squat. What we're trying to do is make sure that the hips come up and down in a straight line. What can happen to a lot of athletes is the hips slide forward or backwards and up as you stand. So as you come up, I'm going to have Drew go nice and slow. A lot of athletes get stuck in the sticking point and can't finish the lift from there. So we really need to make sure that as we stand up, that posterior chain is working hard to get to the top of that squat. You really push your hips through, pull that chest back up, and really get to that finished position at the top. All right, guys, those are the tips that we have to help fix your back squat. We really hope over the next 6 weeks you guys can think about all of these things, and every time you take the barbell out of the rack, you're rooting your feet, loading your posterior chain, controlling every rep, and pushing your hips through at the top. I hope this has answered any questions that you guys have. See you next time.